So a couple days ago, I hit 2,500 subscribers, and I thought a perfect special video for that would be around 100 on Last Gen BO3 Dreisendracht, because it is the only map of the three on Last Gen that I have not gotten around 100. I've gotten it on Shadows and the Giant, but never this one. My highest ever on this one was 85. And actually, while I was doing some attempts for this, I randomly got it popped up in my Snapchat memories that my 85 PB was exactly 1 year ago today as I was doing these attempts. So that kind of added on to it as well. And if you didn't know, this game looks and plays entirely different to the normal BO3 that everyone's used to. On this one, if you get hit by anything, it will stop your sprint. So if you get hit by a zombie that's in a group, you're probably just dead. Also, pretty much anything and everything can crash your game. I've had the Ragnaroks crash my game in the 20s. I've had Lil Arnie's on Shadows crash my game in like the teens. Pretty much anything on this can crash your game, including pausing overnight, meaning I was going to have to play pretty much this entire game to round 100 in one sitting, because I've had my game crash from pausing overnight well over 10 times. I'm gonna just skip over the majority of the setup because it's 2025. I don't think I really need to go into much detail about me building probably the most popular bow on the map and building a shield on a literal 10-year-old game. I don't think this map's actually 10 years old, but I mean, who cares? Everyone knows how to build a bow and build a shield. If you don't, use a tutorial like the rest of us did. So basically, I just literally get the lightning bow and then the KRM. I usually would hit the box at least like 1 or 2 times to see if I get a haymaker or Brekti, and if I didn't, I would just go with the KRM before Panzer preferably, so that I can pretty much just insta-kill him as soon as he spawns in. And then after that, I would always go for Jug, a double tap, quick revive, and mule kick. Basically, I would get turned on my KRM just as a helpful like AAT for when I'm camping, and then on my mule kick gun, which was usually the M8A7, I would get Blast Furnace. Basically, because this version didn't get as many updates as normal BO3, Blast Furnace is the best alternate ammo type by far, and Deadwire is kind of trash. It usually kills like maybe 3 zombies per activation, and it takes way longer to activate than normal BO3 does, so I never go for Deadwire ever, and I always just go for Blast Furnace. On round 20, I'm finally able to get Blast Furnace on the M8A7. I don't know why it takes me forever to get them every time. My luck is just literally terrible with getting the actual pack punch ability that I want. But after that, it's time for me to start my high round strategy, and I do the same strategy on pretty much any time I play Dreisendracht, which is just to camp at the top of the stairs right next to Speed Cola. It's one of the more popular strats, and it's used on the regular version and this version, so that's pretty much what I do. But this strategy is actually a lot worse on Last Gen. On regular BO3, I believe it's either a 2 or a 3 spawn, but on Last Gen, I think it's either a 4 or 5 spawn. So it's a lot worse, not to mention that on Last Gen, there's only 19 zombies per horde instead of the usual 24. If you don't know what that means, it basically means instead of 24 zombies being able to be on the map at once, only 19 will be able to. So my bow is just killing less for every shot, which makes my ammo less efficient, which means I'm gonna have to stop this strategy a lot earlier than I would if I was playing normal BO3. And I was very happy to have yet another game going, because a little bit before this one, actually I think the day before it, I had a couple games, let's just say, not exactly go according to plan, with me dying in probably the dumbest way possible, literally to the last 2 zombies of the round while trying to double pack punch. And then in a different game, I tried to grab a death machine and forgot that the animation to pull it out literally takes 10 years, so I went down trying to get that one. But at least this game I have now is going well, and I just make sure to not do anything stupid. And since I haven't mentioned it, I'll also just say for Panzers, I pretty much just get them stuck in a bow shot and then kill them, and then later on in the game, I'll just put them in the death ray and kill them. Also, just to mention it, the death machine on this map specifically just like is garbage. For whatever reason, it won't kill anything past like round 40, and if you spam it past round 40, it can crash the game. So if you see me just leaving them and not picking them up at all, that's why, because they're pretty much just as useful as the BO1 death machines, except these ones can actually crash your game, so I guess they're actually kind of worse. Then round 37 ended up being a dog round, which on this map, they don't really happen too often. I think the cycle is like 6 to 12 or like maybe 7 to 13 or something. I don't really know. But you know how I said in the beginning that getting hit stops your sprint? That means that if you get stuck in the Panzer's flamethrower, you pretty much can't sprint away, and you have to just hope that he'll stop and throw a shock charge, and you'll be able to run away, because if not, you'll just pretty much be stuck in the flamethrower and die. Also, this trap right here, for whatever reason, does not damage you. I saw someone say in a comment that it only happens after the Panzer has flamethrowered you, like if you get hit with the flamethrower at some point in the game, the trap won't damage you anymore. I mean, that sounds like something that would happen on Last Gen BO3, but I don't really know for sure. So, yeah, for whatever reason, that trap just does no damage to me, so I can just run through it whenever. So, I mean, yeah, that's just another weird thing about Last Gen BO3, is that the electric trap does nothing. So I just ran back in here, got the Panzer stuck in a bow shot, and then just spammed him again with the KRM. And I really wish I would have gotten a Brecci or a Haymaker, because, I don't know, I just find them way easier to spam. And I also think that, like, the Haymaker is completely busted on this version of BO3. Pretty sure it's like the pre-patch version of it, so it's like literally insane and can kill the Panzer stupidly fast for a very long time. And now to just explain my strategy a little bit more, pretty much when you're standing up here at the top of these stairs, zombies will only come from the stairs right in front of me. And if you stand behind this line, I think it makes the spawns faster or something. Honestly, I don't think that applies to Last Gen BO3. I'm pretty sure that's why this one is like a 5 spawn instead of like a 2 or 3 or whatever it is on normal BO3. But basically, you just stand up here, zombies will only come from this stairway right in front of me. So you can pretty much just sit up here and spam the bow for a pretty long time. On normal BO3, I think you can maybe do this all the way to 100. On this version, you'll probably only be able to do it to like 80-ish, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower, just depending on your luck and how well you're doing at actually cycling your gobblegums to get more alchemicals. And then after a while, I finally hit round 50, still with 0 downs, and this is actually my second round 50 of all of my attempts. In fact, the only times I died during these attempts were those 2 clips that I showed earlier of when I picked up the death machine and the one where I died trying to double pack-a-punch. Pretty much all of my games, this being the 3rd attempt that's ended this way, were ending because of a connection interrupted like thing, despite me playing local. For whatever reason, this game requires you to be connected to internet on your Xbox 360, and I was, obviously, so I could actually play. And for whatever reason, that means you can get disconnected, I guess, if you have a bad internet connection, even though it never even said that, like, I got disconnected from the internet. It said it on my screen, but right after this game crashed and I went to the home menu, I was still connected to the internet fine. So I have no idea why this game crashed, but this was the 3rd attempt that had this, like, happen. And so I was starting to think that I was not going to be able to get to around 100 because of this weird thing. My next attempt didn't really go much better, with me dying on round 8 while trying to get a piece for the Ragnaroks. And if you're wondering why I'm going for the Ragnaroks, even though I said at the beginning of the video they crashed my game, it's because I decided to look up the world record game after this of round 183, and I saw that the guy actually used the Ragnaroks his entire game, so I just figured, let's give them another chance, let's see if they crash the game this time. And so I pretty much just spent the early game gathering the parts instead of focusing on the bow, so I didn't have it when the Panzer showed up, so I just decided to use the Death Ray on him just to be safe. And then I had all the parts for the Ragnaroks, so I decided to build them and just try them out on a full horde to see if they would crash the game instantly, and they didn't. So I just figured, maybe they will in the later game, and maybe they won't. I don't really care. This game has made me mad enough with the crashes. If these things crash my game as well, then it's just not meant to be. I'm not getting the 100. But I actually did end up using them pretty much the entire game, and they did not crash the game. I don't have too much to show of this game because most of it was streamed, and I ran into a lot of internet issues on my streams as I usually do, so some of the footage of it is lower quality, so I'm just not going to include too much from the stream. But having the Ragnaroks actually makes this a lot easier, not only because they're just good to save me in any bad situation, but because they're actually pretty helpful against Panzers as well, because I could set them down. Rather than having to use the bow or go to the Death Ray, I can just set them down and they'll pick up the Panzer and I can kill them with it. And I had a pretty funny moment on the stream when I did that to a Panzer, and it looked really, really weird. He's down. Yes, get stuck in those, boy. Wait, what? Ayo? Ayo Step Panzer, I'm stuck? What is he doing? Hey, yo. Bro, this... What is this? What... What is going on? Give me my Ragnaroks, please. I'm never putting those down ever again. And then other than the occasional like weird glitch or something like that, not much happened on the stream other than just some funny moments interacting with chat, but I can't really seek those out because it's pretty much like a 3-hour stream and I don't want to look through all of that just to try and find those moments, which might be insanely low quality because my internet is kind of trash. So I only ended up taking one down on the stream, which was on round 68. So that's pretty much the only thing other than the glitch I just showed that I'll show from the stream. And the rest of the footage will be the same normal quality as this one because I played a bit off stream. USB is just like... USB paying my bills this stream, literally. Not that I actually have any bills. Because I'm an irresponsible rat. I'm dead. Okay, this is not good. Let me take a sip of my drink and log in. This is not good. There's a Panzer on the map. I have nothing. This is 2. Okay, I'll pause until it stops lagging. One thing I almost forgot to mention that happened on stream was possibly the most diabolical donation challenge request I have ever gotten from Frozen USB, which is get to round 30 on Bus Depot while wearing a gorilla mask that I showed on stream once, like months ago, and I have to act like a femboy the whole time. So, I don't know about the femboy thing, but I guess I'll try to get to round 30 while wearing that dumb mask, which basically means I'm probably not going to be able to see, like, anything, so I'm probably just going to die on, like, round 10 over and over, but, I mean, yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the challenges of all time. So like I said earlier, I played through the entire like 3-hour stream with only taking one down the entire time. That was while reading chat and seeing all the brain-rotted messages that everyone was sending for the entire time. I managed to do all that only taking one down. Afterwards, I was going to stream again because like I said, I can't pause overnight. So I decided to play a little bit off stream just to 80. And in that time trying to play to 80, in just the 14 minutes I played, I managed to screw the entire game in just that little bit of time when I played off stream. I managed to go from just having one down at 75 when I ended the stream to playing for 14 minutes off stream and completely throwing the best game I had, not even breaking my old PB of 85. The disappointment I felt when I died was insane because I knew I was not going to attempt this again. I'd put like 3 days into attempts of this, of just endlessly crashing over and over, and I finally get a good game, and I completely threw it. So thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and never play Last Gen BO3 ever.